Hi, everyone. Joao here. I'm with Shaheen. Say hi, Shaheen.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
And we're here to welcome Glory Agatevur. This is how you spell your name? Speak your name, Glory? Sorry, how do you pronounce it?
You're on mute,
Glory?
Glory.
You're on mute.
You have to unmute.
I got a great glory.
Oh, perfect. All right. She has an inspiring journey. Glory became a part of Cartesi community by listening to community calls, starting to build, asking questions. She organized events, started teaching, taking part in Cartesi Hackathons, and even secured a seed grant to build CardDevKit. And I'm sure this journey will continue. Before we start, just a quick announcement. Stick around for our Q&A. We'll be rewarding the best question swag kit packed with Cartesi goodies. We do this every episode. So let's dive right in. Glory, how are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm good. Thank you. The first question that I would like to propose here, so we can begin with the whole discussion, is about women in Web3, right? How can more women be empowered to enter the Web3 world?
Okay. So how difficult it is for women to be involved in all things tech. Talk more of Web3. So, but to get that happen, or to get that to happen, we actually need to encourage more women in terms of creating programs that uh, where they can easily fit in, like more like an inclusive program, and then try to incentivize them, because women, most of the time, we need a lot of motivation to do some certain things. So women need to be incentivized to get involved in what's happening in the Web3 space.
I see. When you mean these initiatives, you talk organizations like communities, right? Things like that. Are there any specific organizations or projects you want to give a shout out regarding that? Anyone that specifically you think is a good project or an interesting one or recommended for people to start in any way?
Sorry, I lost you for a bit. I didn't get the question.
Oh, okay. So you mentioned organizations that might help people to get started, right? Might help women to get started. Is there any specific one that you would want to give a shout out at? Any specific organization that you think is really helpful or you would recommend for girls to start?
Yeah, so basically we have Web3 ladies. They are doing a great job in that space, trying to onboard more women into the Web3 space. We also have Such Women. We have Women Build Web3, and so many other communities that are trying to do their best to see that more women are involved in the Web3 space.
Yeah, this is great.
That's that's really good to hear. Nice to see you here, Glory. I also have like a couple of questions, like a lot of questions for you. So when you start building your project, how do you choose a project? What's that most important thing that you look for within a project?
Okay, so first of all, I actually look at the impact the project is going to make, and then I take a look at the community, what they currently have and what they don't have, and first off, when I started getting familiar with the Cartesi community, one of the first thing that came to my mind was onboarding, like user onboarding, like getting more users into the platform, and how can we make that seamless for them. And that was where the whole idea of trying to build a tool that will make that process a lot easier.
Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, we keep forgetting whenever we are in this loop of building project, we keep forgetting the impact that project is gonna create. So I do feel like looking at the impact is very critical for any project in Web3. I mean, this movement started with creating impact, and That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
And what do you think about hackathons? Like how influential are hackathons for you in building your projects? How they help you in these projects?
Yeah, so for hackathon, I think it's a very good initiative. Generally, I see a lot of hackathons happening in the Web3 space. Before now, personally, I'm the type of person that don't really like to get involved in hackathons when I was still pretty much in the Web2 space. But getting into the Web3 space, I am one of the people that always participates in hackathons every now and then. So, and I see it as one of the easiest way for new beginners or people that are just getting started with three to actually like get their hands dirty by participating in any of these hackathons, because it's more or less like the starting point for most people that want to start building in the Web3 space. So it's almost like a motivation, and it's one beautiful thing about Web3 because people, it's almost like people are being like paid to learn or paid to build something in whatever space or whatever blockchain they are building on.
That's interesting. You mentioned that while you were in Web2, you didn't participate a lot in hackathons, but when joining Web3, you did. I'm kind of like the same. I never give it a thought. Why do you think that happens so much?
Well, I can't really tell, Sha, but I used to feel like the competition, like hackathons are very competitive, and then maybe at the end of the day, just two, three persons that are going to win, and then it was more of a general kind of hackathon, but these particular hackathons in the Web3 space, most of the time they are targeted towards maybe a particular, maybe they are, if it's a particular blockchain organization that is organizing it, they're like trying to like promote their product or get people to test what they have built by way of hackathons and things like that. And I also see it like a learning process for me. If I want to learn a new tool or learn how to build on a particular platform, the easiest way for me to do that, instead of just learning it on my own without getting incentivized to do that, I do it through an hackathon. So that's one of the beautiful things about hackathons in the Web3. But you're always learning something new. You're always learning how to build on a particular blockchain or how to use a particular tool and all that.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense. Stopping to think here, I do think I don't remember how much I was incentivized to learn in Web 2 a lot, while Web 3 does provide this whole context, right? This is so much better. By the way, talking about hackathons, like when you start building for a hackathon, there's always that dilemma where you go for something that is more market ready, something that's more of a product that you want to create. You mentioned impact. Would you do you rather create things that cause some impact, or you go more for bounty hunting, like seeing exactly what are the demands for bounties and trying to get the most bounties out of it? This is a question I always like to do because it's nice to see people's strategies.
Okay, so yeah, in each of these hackathons, they have sponsors, and each of the sponsors they have their prizes attached to those tools. First off, the thing is, for me, I will go for not just the prize. I'll go for maybe bounties that I most likely have the skill set for, or will be able to learn within that period of the hackathon, and also something that have some one way or the other kind of like impact on the project I want to work on. So if there's no relationship between what I have in mind to work on and the sponsors price or whatever tool that they have that they want you to build on, if there's no relationship, I most likely will not work on that. So I'm not really like just focused on the price, but more or less this tool that you have here, is this something that will be useful for this product I want to build?
I see. What if we take like a step back and abstract a little bit and not think of use cases for protocols, but for Web3 as a whole? Do you have an example of like what you think is the best use case for Web3 in today's industry?
Yeah, so technically, I think most of us must have been hearing of supply chain in the Web3 space. and it's a really good use case. Even the decentralized voting system, because the entire voting system right now is not the way it should be, like the traditional voting system. And then when it comes to finance, that is more or less like the killer part, decentralized finance part of the blockchain, because financial related matters are things that cut across different areas and different countries and all of that. So we don't want to be limited by region. Okay, just like when I went to Kenya for that conference, that Ethereum conference, and I at that point I forgot to go with my dollar card, so and I ran out of cash, and I needed to do some transactions. And because even if I was there with my card, some of those banks, it's not all the banks that I can really use my Nigerian card in a Kenyan bank and things like that. So what actually saved the day for me was crypto. Because at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, I had to like go to one of these exchanges and then got some money. Lucky enough, they also support the Kenya and currency on that platform. So I was able to like transfer from my USDT to get some of those Kenyan shillings, and then they now transferred it to my phone number because they use phone number in Kenya for those things. So if not for that, I don't know what I would have done that day because I don't really know much people there, and nobody wants to sell anything for you with that money. So that's one of the best parts of the blockchain. That's decentralized finance aspect of it. Like you can be anywhere, anytime you can receive your money speedily without having to waste time. Because anytime I want to receive money, if I give them my dollar account, it takes time for the money to arrive. But if it was crypto payments, it's just a split of seconds or minutes and you have your money in your account.
Yeah, in general, when we're not talking about crypto, latency can be so big between different I don't want to say applications, but applications, right? Essentially, that's what it is. It's something that crypto really gives us. That is this instant compatibility between things. It just works. It just works. It shows how the
Yeah.
industry is moving forward, and it's good. What about bad things in the industry? Is there anything, one thing
Yes.
specifically that you would want to change there?
Yeah. So in this industry, one of the pain points I have right now is wallet security. A lot of people are losing money. Myself, I've also lost money. And it's something that I'm just trying to see personally how I can do research in that area and see how we can mitigate against such cases, even though we have been told to keep our seed phrase well, to make everything okay, don't share it with anybody, and all of those things. But one way or the other, some things happen. Eh, I don't know, because as a developer, most of the time I find out that most of the accounts I have on my MetaMask are always prone to attack. Like even though when I'm pushing my code to GitHub, they are not. I don't expose my private keys and all that. But one way or the other, so the problem might come from you as an individual, and it might also come from the platforms you interact with. So you might interact with the platform that even the platform that you trust, that you feel like something like this will not happen. It will shock you that those acts you have in your account are actually coming from one of those platforms that you have interacted with. So and it's a very big issue because even recently, I know somebody that the very first crypto payments he received, he lost it. The moment the money just came in, that's the same moment the money left the account.
Wow.
And it was like tracing it, trying to like figure out where did this money go to. Just imagine somebody just waiting, like, oh, I'm expecting this money, and then the money arrive, and then you check your account is still showing zero, and then you have to like go and trace the whole movements of this transaction, and only to find that somebody moved it immediately. The money entered the account.
That
So
really
these
happens.
things are very painful. Yeah, these things are very painful. And somebody I know today, she was just telling me that the money she was expecting, she sent it. She gave it's like Cello. They have CUSD, so the money came in.
I think Glory froze.
Yes.
for a little.
But what Glory is mentioning, like it's so true. Like I feel like there should be this quote, like with great ownership comes great responsibility.
Yeah, of course, man. The thing is, as fast as things get there, things leave the wallets. It's crazy. I had a few friends who had their wallets drained at some point. Uh, Never develop using your own wallet. That's something I'm gonna say, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Separate your keys. Have a separate dev key, but
Yeah,
never push your keys to GitHub. Like not even dev key, I would say.
yeah. This is the danger. Did I do that? It's my dev key, but did I do that? I think I didn't do that. I might
Yeah,
have done that at some point. At some point, not recently. But bro, it's kind of crazy. Like the way these things do happen, the way that like people find is happening all the time. Security, of course, good practices are paramount, but it's kind of sad that there is no way to ensure this, right? Unless you have a very specific wallet abstraction with two-factor authentications, things like that. Do you have any recommendation for everyone in that sense?
no, not recommendations. I mean, if you want that freedom of the blockchain, the freedom that blockchain gives you, if you want that ownership, I think I feel like it's there are some similar lines between this all this freedom that we are getting with crypto and the political freedom that we got with the democratic systems. Like. You cannot take it for granted. You have to be educated. You have to be a little wise how to use these things. So educate yourself, how to use your keys, all of these things, and only then you could make the best out of it. It's like
But
the electorate should be educated to vote for somebody.
that does make onboarding harder, right? Like, how do you bring people? I'm not even talking about developers, people in general, to understand these security measures they have to take.
It is harder definitely, but so are a lot of things, man. I mean, if you're doing anything technical, there has to be some technical learning.
Yeah,
And
that's fair.
moving forward, like I wouldn't be surprised if like a couple of years down the line we would see some more financial education like a little bit early on in our life. Like we are starting this in our late 20s, but it could be like a little bit earlier in your life where you start learning the fundamentals and then it gets more ingrained to your day-to-day lifestyle.
Hmm, that's fair. 'Cause, I mean, for devs who understand the whole concept of what's going on behind the scenes, it feels easier for them to get a grasp of how they should behave and what the consequences will be. But just spreading, like, just trying to explain simple concepts of blockchain to people who have no familiarity with it, it can be so hard.
Yeah, that's true. I think part of this also comes with like if you take example of say internet HTTP, like none of us explains HTTP to regular users.
Fair.
But right now we are very much inclined for people to understand the technology behind, which might not be the case. Like when we have a lot of conveniences on top of the technology that we are using right now.
Mm-hmm.
But as of this moment, I think we do have to educate people about blockchain and all of this stuff.
Do you think we're gonna be able to abstract to a level where people will just wait, will just won't need to either know anything or understand it very easily? How do you think that's gonna go?
I think so. I mean, we are already starting to see some of these abstraction layers with these smart wallets and things. Like you could just the account abstraction. You could just log in with your Gmail or your biometrics, and you have the smart contracts deployed for you. All these things, I think the major chunk of the population would start inclining towards these solutions because they'll be quicker, they'll be faster, better UX, and then at a certain point in time, it's like you have this consensus generated that everybody is using these convenience layers, and all of the apps would eventually tend towards those kind of solutions.
I do think we're gonna get there, but it's a little harder to explain to someone. Well, yeah, you did mention wallet abstractions. That does make everything easier, smoother, I guess. And then this will be used for security as well, right? Just like the EIP for wallet abstraction that we had right now does delegate some of your assets or permission to do something, you can basically use that in your favor to hold more security in a way, because you won't let everything go. There are some ways for that.
True. And also, like I think these abstraction layers should also be transparent for the users. Like in a sense, right now what we see with the L2Beat, like L2Beat is a good uh, platform for you to see transparently where the protocols or the layer twos stand, like in terms of security, in terms of decentralization. Something that like a tweet from Carlo caught my eyes, and it was about like having these transparent standards for applications as well. Like users should know how they are interacting with applications.
Yeah.
In that sense, it's kind of like an onus on the developers to be transparent what they are saying on chain, what is on chain per se, right?
I do think that the average user won't want to know all about what's happening undergoing there. I don't know. Like some people want to be able to not have to worry too much. Hey, Glory, you're back. We were
Yeah, so sorry about that. My network
no
was
problem. Glad you're back. We were here having a discussion about security and the issue you mentioned. So we went along with it a little bit, but
Yeah,
in
we started
general,
going into the rabbit hole. Thanks for saving us.
yeah, the next topic would start to be a little weird. We always get in deep philosophical questions, me and Shaheen, I guess.
Yeah, man. So I think let's jump into this next section of let's talk about your project Glory. Let's talk about DevCardKit, or how you call it, CardDevKit. In tell us the viewers in your own words, what is it? What is it all about?
Okay, so CardDevKit, I don't know, I keep calling it Cartesi Kit because that was the initial name. So yeah, CardDevKit is a all-in-one CLI tool that helps developers to easily you
Oh,
select
okay.
any of the templates of your choice, depending on what you are building. We have the core features where you do the normal Cartesi stuff, and then we have the Cartesify there as well for people that want to do REST API related interactions. And then we have templates script and TypeScript, and for front React and Nest.
Hey, Glory.
Template features or more. Yeah, can you?
Yeah, I think you're breaking a little bit, but yes.
Hello, did you hear everything I said?
Yes,
Now,
I can.
we're here. Now it's better, I think.
Okay, that sounds cool. Like to sum it up, like
Finish
you're building.
explaining it. I don't know if you heard it.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So what did you hear last?
Little bits here and there. Maybe just sum it up in one line what CardDevKit is all about. Glory's back.
Yeah, so I'm not sure the last thing you heard before the.
Yeah, freezing.
Okay.
Maybe we can.
I just turned on my camera.
Yeah, that might help in terms of the bandwidth.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know the last thing you heard me say concerning CardDevKit, or if I should go over it again.
Yeah, it was breaking a lot. Maybe you can brief it again. Glory, are you there?
Yeah, I'm yeah. You said what?
Yes. Yeah, just brief about CardDevKit, like in a single line. Is it all about?
Okay. So CardDevKit is an all-in-one CLI tool that helps developers to easily scaffold their projects on Cartesi. So if you want to build anything on Cartesi, all you just need to do is to run and you are good to go. So in doing that, you have a template options to select whether backend or frontend, or if you want both of them, you get it. So right now we have templates available for um, Next.js and React, and then there is the backend with TypeScript and JavaScript. So we're looking to add more template features to it to cater for the needs of other developers, probably Python, Go, Rust, and others. Then also maybe later in the future we can
Mm-hmm.
also.
So I think what Glory is trying to say, CardDevKit is kind of like a one-stop solution for developers. Like it's a CLI tool which will have a different frameworks for you to get started with, and it's very quick to kind of bootstrap your Cartesi applications in different frameworks that we have in the ecosystem, or you could be thinking of like spinning up your front end, your back end in a particular framework, or maybe a mobile application for that matter. Glory, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. So, how did you think about this sort of you're into this tooling project, and what made you focus on tooling side? Like we see people, very few people who are into tooling. The people are more interested in applications, building on the application layer. So what made you focus on that for particular grants inside Cartesi?
Okay, so like I said, I don't know if I have said it here already.
Oh, you're audible, go ahead.
You're audible.
So basically, when I got off with the first thing that you face is when you get into a platform for the first time, trying to find their way around things and trying to check what is available that to help them to easily start building. And I checked, and it wasn't all that available. And I know Cartesi is still a growing ecosystem, and there are many things that still needs to be in place. So, and one of those things is user onboarding process. I know most people when they start building, they're always having issues asking questions. So, because I'm in a community where there are some people that wants to build, and then they're asking questions. They're feeling like, oh, this platform is too difficult to build on. How do I get started? What do I do? And things like that. So, and that was one of the motivation to do something that we be useful to this set of people that want to start building on the Cartesi platform, if I call it blockchain.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember when Glory was starting, like she wanted to go like from 0 to 1 with Cartesi in just a single day, and she went from like uh, Cartesi. I think that was a Sonodo create application, and she went from there to like deploying. And she was like, she was facing issues and all of this. I think all of that kind of motivated her heart to push on this kind of a solution.
I think it's a very good practice actually for you when you're starting to build on something that you know you want to build. Like Cartesi as a roll-up system, it's very different from majorly what you see in Web3, because in Web3 you see so many blockchains and Cartesi does not behave like that. It is more about how you can roll up to a blockchain, so you dynamically create layer 2 app chains instead of blockchains with it. And it really helps you on it really does help you on a lot of things. So if you go through the whole process of creating your dApp, building your dApp, deploying your dApp, you kind of get ready to what's coming on ahead. So you have a certain you have a certain expectation of what you're going to deal with, right? But as I mentioned, it does bring lots of different aspects and strategies. Like, are there any specific advantages that you see coming from Cartesi to the industry, Glory?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. Are there any specific advantages?
Are there any specific advantages that you see Cartesi bringing to the industry? Advantages you think Cartesi brings in general?
Yeah. So yes, sure. So first off, the whole idea of giving developers the freedom killer points when it comes to building on Cartesi, because most people, their fear is, especially when you're trying to like talk to a Web2 developer to start building on the Web3 space, the first thing that comes to their mind is that, oh, I don't know anything about the blockchain. Oh, I don't know Solidity, or I don't know Rust, or I don't know how to build on the blockchain and things like that. But with Cartesi, I think any Web2 developers or developer that is looking to transition into the Web3 space can easily do that, because you don't have to start thinking about what's happening behind the scene, which I believe is some of the things that Cartesi is handling for you as a developer. So all you just need to do is to bring your Web2 knowledge, whatever you know how to do with Web2, you can pretty much start doing them on Web3 while building on Cartesi.
I see. And when you build on Cartesi, do you think it can help in any way, like the African tech landscape? How do you see it playing a part there? What challenges and opportunities that are kind of unique to this landscape from Africa that you think Cartesi will be able to help addressing, if there are any?
Okay, yeah. So, like I said previously, at the moment, we know the blockchain is still evolving, and we don't really have much people yet compared to the number of developers we have currently in the Web2 space. There are still a lot of persons that are yet to dive into the Web3 space or to start building. So, as Cartesi can actually like take advantage of these numbers as well. I think the focus should not just be on those that are already building on the Web3 space, because I think one of the conversation I had was that's like what we are looking at. But in my own opinion, I feel we shouldn't just neglect those that have not started building in the Web3 space, because they can, like I said before, they can easily transition into Web3 because of the way Cartesi is being architectured in such a way that anybody can start building. All they need is just that basic knowledge of what the blockchain is about. And if they have that information, they can easily start building. And we can onboard as many people as we want to, because the area is still the Web3 space is still like a virgin land. We still need more people to start building and to start doing stuff in the Web3 space.
I see. Cool.
Right. Glory, like if our bandwidth is all good right now, do you want to show our viewers some demo of CardDevKit, if you would like anything?
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Just give me a minute. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
All right. So can you see my screen?
It's loading.
Yeah.
Now we
see
can.
it.
Okay, so this is my terminal, and to get started, you just write this command. I hope I don't already have that. Yeah, so after writing that, you can press enter. So I don't have this latest, that's why it's asking me to get the latest. Okay, so this is it. So currently we have front end and back end. So if I want to do maybe the full stack application I want to build, so I can click on, let me just make this thing full. So I can select that front end and then maybe select React or Next.js. So I can select Next.js, and then do I need a backend? Yes. So let's say TypeScript, and then I will seed into that particular application. All right. So this is what I just scaffolded now with the template. So this is my backend and this is my front end. And the front end is Next.js. That's one I selected, and I selected the TypeScript backend. So if I go over to the front end, I can, let me use Yarn to make it faster. So I'll install the necessary dependencies and then run the front end. I can still do that. I can still run the backend, but I don't know how long it will take. My network is not very strong, so the backend might take a while, but let me try. So basically, for people that probably want to use this for the first time, can you still hear me, or are you still seeing my screen?
Yeah, we see everything, and we hear you clearly.
Okay. Let me see what error I'm getting here. So this is a Docker related issue. Yeah, it really have to do with the network TLS and shake timeouts. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to run the backend now, but let me see. Front end is still trying to install. So while we wait for that, let me still try this. Let me run it again. So yeah, while we wait for that to complete, I wanted to say that for those that want to use this template for the first time, you just need to have a Docker and Cartesi CLI installed on your system. So because I already have all those things, that's why I'm just running it immediately. I didn't have to do any extra thing. Apart from that, you are good to go when it comes to using the template, and you can modify the code as you deem fit, create your own route. You can borrow idea from what I did there on the back end, and the front end, the same thing. You remove any templates that you don't need and put your own template there, or your own, depending on your design. put your own design there. But every other thing has been connected for you. So I just hope this finish up on time so that I can run the front end as well. So because of my network, there's something I wanted to say concerning some of the challenges we are having on the Web3 space, which is one, apart from the security issue I mentioned, another thing is what's it called? Another thing is the US. Yeah, the US of the Web3 space. People are still like trying to understand the flow of things. Like, there are some platforms that you go to. If you want to withdraw money, for instance, you have to pass through so many processes before the money finally gets to your account. So that's the problem. And I believe some people are building solutions to make that easier. So it's not when I have money in MetaMask and I want it in my Naira account, I have to like maybe go through any of these exchanges, use P2P. Those are processes. And those are things that people probably need to still understand. Or maybe you're interacting with a Web3 applications online and then they say scan this code, you have scanned it. And sometimes you will just be looking at your screen. You will not even know that there is a button you need to press to continue that transactions on your phone. So you, in your mind, you'll be like, this thing is not working. But meanwhile, they're waiting for you to click on something to complete the connection on your phone. So those are some of the US problems. And apart from that, thank God for account abstraction. They're trying to abstract a lot of things, and then we don't want users to be able to worry when they're interacting with any Web3 application about paying gas. Imagine I want to interact with a Cartesi application, or let me say, or a base application, an application that is deployed to the base network, for instance, and then I don't have the base network token, I should still be able to transact or even experience the same thing. So I think those are some of the problems that Account Abstraction is trying to solve. We are not there yet. There are still many improvements that is ongoing. And I think with all of that in place, people, even our grandmothers and fathers, they can come and use Web3 without fear.
Oh yeah, I mean, security and UX is definitely, and people have been starting to realize this a lot because we haven't seen like many applications that have gone that have got like a good traction in Web3 lately. So it's a part of the issue is UX, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
That's very valid.
User experience and developer experience are two things that come hand in hand, because it's so much harder for you to develop something to the user if the dev is having a hard time while they're doing.
Yeah. The dev needs to understand it for them to be able to like break things down or make things a lot easier for the end user.
Yeah.
So Glory, I was also like I saw it somewhere like CardDevKit also has mobile support, or maybe you're providing that like in some future iteration. Is that true? And how do you think about having frameworks for mobiles? Like how do they help in, let's say, adoption side or maybe developers? How does that work?
Yeah, so basically we are all aware that a good percentage of people in the world today, first of all, make use of their phone before they even talk about laptop. And especially here in Africa, it's not everybody that have laptop. Most people don't have. They still interact with whatever is happening online. They use their phone for those interactions. So and we cannot neglect mobile users or mobile applications. First off, for those that are not aware, my Web2 journey actually started with mobile development. So, and getting into the Web3 space from being a mobile developer was a bit difficult for me because when I got into the space, I noticed most applications, most packages, most SDKs are web. So it was kind of like, I don't know, in this space, it looks like if any protocol comes, when they are building tools, the first set of tools that they focus on is the web before they start to think about mobile. So mobile is more like an afterthought, like what happens after they have done everything that they need to do on the web. And if you look at it very well, it's in a way affecting the number of mobile applications that interact with the blockchain, mobile Web3 applications, kind of like affecting it. We have very few applications on that. Thank God for React Native that probably the SDKs that work with React can still, in a way, still work on React Native. But those that are not building, working on those that are not building with React Native, that are just probably doing core native stuff, maybe with iOS and Swift, or doing Android with Java or Kotlin or Flutter and stuff like that. Those set of developers or those set of builders are probably not being they are not, how do I put it? They are not being considered in most of these platforms that are always only focused on the web. So there might be solutions you want to build on mobile, and you will not be able to do that because there's no tools currently available that caters for that. And like I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of users that are using mobile devices to interact with the internet or even to interact on chain. And then just let's say, for instance, now there is no Trust Wallet, or there's no MetaMask mobile, those mobile applications for Trust Wallet or MetaMask. How are we going to be signing these transactions? Maybe you are interacting with your phone and you need to like sign transactions or do all these Web3 related stuff that we are doing. How are we going to be able to do that when we are using our phone, or when those people that want to interact with the blockchain are using their phone? So in a way, they will be limited if they don't have a laptop, because you cannot use the MetaMask that works on your web browser. I think, to the best of my knowledge, the one that works on on the web browser, you can't use it on mobile device. You always have to connect with the mobile app, a MetaMask, or any of those wallet connects mobile applications and all of that. So it becomes very important for us in the Web3 space to begin to realize the need for considering mobile related solutions that will be built on the blockchain. Because for instance, like all these financial applications, I notice even the Web2 financial applications, I notice most of them, the logic of the applications are usually on their mobile app. If you go to their web app, it's just maybe to tell you about the platform, what they do. But majority of the logic of their, I guess, is a security thing. Majority of the logic happens on their mobile app. Most of those financial applications, if you check very well, some of the things you're able to do on their mobile phone, you might not be able to do them on the web applications. So that's especially all these bank apps or fintechs applications. So the same thing applies with DeFi. So all these DeFi applications, most of the users that use DeFi apps are most likely going to be interacting with the mobile version of those solutions. Like Binance, for instance, I can count the number of times I've used my laptop to open Binance application. I normally use my phone. I use the mobile app. So yeah, so basically that is, I think I'm talking too much.
No way.
Yeah, these are like very relevant points, right? I mean, talking about mobile experience, like the whole infrastructure, I think 2 years back, 2-3 years back, it was very in its infancy stage, and we didn't have like much of wallet applications, how to sign transactions on a mobile applications. I remember using MetaMask for it, and it was a very awkward experience, like signing a transaction on a mobile. But today, I think it's a little bit. It's not at that point, but it's much better. Like we have so many applications like to pick from, and you have like Wallet Connect, Rainbow. You have an array of wallet applications that can help you connect these applications, and some good things happening on the progressive applications, the kind of like progressive web apps. You can just use the web code to your mobile application. All these things are really creating a nice developer experience as well to build applications for mobile. So these were like very relevant points. Okay, Glory.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
this has finished building. Let me quickly run it. Let me run the front end. But the back end, I don't know what's going on there. I think it's
Mhm.
network related. What did I do? Oh,
Oh, Glory,
MPR.
you stopped streaming already.
Oh, you're not saying it. Let me
Mm,
reshare.
no. But I think we were able to get a good grasp of how it works,
So
the whole CLI that bootstrap everything.
I'm trying to, I think the front end has finished installing. Let me run it. I don't think I'll be able to run the back end right now.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, if you are able to present, it's fine.
Yeah, so basically once you run the application, or once you just finish your scaffolding and then install the necessary dependencies, then all you need to do for the front end is just to do npm run dev, and then the front end will be open like this. So this is just an example. I call it greetings, where you can
I
test.
think you have to click to present again, Glory.
Oh, okay. Are you seeing my screen now?
Mm, it's loading.
Loading.
Now we see
Yes.
it. All right.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. So once you finish selecting the template that you want, you install the necessary dependencies, and then it opens up this for you when you do npm run dev. And so this particular page, I call it greetings. This is the landing page. And then with this, you can test how to handle user inputs. So this is for handling of inputs. So you can just send a message and do any of those, connect your wallets and do what you need to do there. Then this section is to test the interactions, how you interact with the Cartesi wallets and all the stuff. So basically, you're just like sending, maybe you want to send Ether, ERC20, or NFTs. You test all of those things there, and the code is also available in the template. So depending on what you are building, you can easily um, refine the code or modify the code to suit your use case or to suit the application you are working on. So this is like the voucher section. If you have any vouchers that you have, and then notices or reports, all these things happens here. Here you get to see the balance. If there's anything in your balance, you see it as well. So yeah, that's basically it for now. So like I said, we just have React and Nest.js for the front end, and CS and JS, that's JavaScript and TypeScript for the back end at the moment. So we're looking to add more features to it for other developers that are non TypeScript or JavaScript developers.
That's really great. I think Glory is trying to push everybody to become full stack on Cartesi. Build your backend, front ends, and you'll be set.
Do it.
So
Yeah,
that's really nice to hear. Like taking your applications to test nets and main nets like in shortest possible time, and tools like CardDevKit can really help in that. So
yeah.
Glory, are you ready for some rapid fire?
Rapid fire. I don't think I'm
Yes.
ready.
Okay, I don't think I'm ready either, but anyway, we're gonna do it. Okay, here we go. So, first question for you. If you had to give one tip for the developers out there in Web3 who want to build some cool projects like tooling as you did or any other applications, what would that tip be?
Okay, so I think people should not just build things just for building sake. It's something I'm even telling myself personally. I feel like anything that you are building should be something that is making impact. It's not something you just build and just keep it somewhere. And then you shouldn't just build anything because they say come and build in the Web3 space, or you can bring your Web2 app into Web3. So I feel like it's not every application that we have that you just want to migrate to Web3. So there are some applications that are very good, just like we talk about different use case of Web3. There are some applications that are very suitable for the Web3 space, and there are some that they are just okay where they are. So it's not every application you want to think must be on the Web3 space, and you don't just build for building sake, build for impacts. So I think that's like one of the major thing I'll have to say to developers that want to start building in the Web3 space.
Oh, that's good to hear. Okay, I wasn't clear with my instructions. Maybe you just have to give one word or one line. And for next question is like we know Cartesi is cool, but apart from Cartesi, which protocol do you think it's your favorite?
Okay, I wouldn't say I have a favorite right now, but I would say I like what they are doing in the base network. A lot of noise happening there, a lot of things happening on the base blockchain. And then I've done some transactions on base, and I feel like it's very, very cool in terms of the pricing. I know EVM is still EVM, so transactions are not like super fast. We are not there yet as far as EVM is concerned. So, but we are getting there. But the transaction cost, it's really, really minimal compared to when you are transacting on the base layer, like the layer one, like Ethereum. So, oh yeah, that's it. Then for non-EVM chains, I'm free to say, I'm free to mention, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
There
so
are no restrictions. It's an
yeah.
open forum.
So for non-EVM, I kind of love Agorand because that was where my journey actually started. Yeah, so their transaction is very fast and costs very minimal, very cheap. And I'm hoping that in the EVM space we get to that point very fast as well. So Solana is also doing a great job too when it comes to transaction cost and speed. I think I've done some few transactions there as well. It's really cool. So these guys, they're all trying, doing their best in the blockchain space.
Cool. Fair enough. What about your any top pick on the products or a tool or an application that you have used in Web3?
Topic, I don't think I really get that question.
Like your favorite application or a tool. I'm not talking about protocol. You already answered protocols. Like
Okay.
an application or a tool or any product that you have used in Web3.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the name of this application. But what they do is mostly around finance. Oh god, I can't remember the name right now. Yeah, so maybe later I will remember. Right now I can't really remember the name, but there's this tool, there's this Web3 solution that I really like the way they handle payroll and transactions and all that.
Yeah, that really suggests we don't have many good applications in Web3, and this is a statement to developers like start building good applications. Okay, if you had to give a shout out to some builder out there, like anybody who inspired you in your journey, do you have any names? One builder or two builders?
Okay. Female or male or both.
Whichever you want.
Anyone?
Anyone who inspired you.
Okay, so yeah, basically, first off, I would say my husband. So he's a developer as well, and he always likes to tell people that he brought me into Web3. No, not Web3, into programming, the world of programming. So yeah, he's doing his best. And then for ladies, I'll talk about Oluchi. I think she's doing great too, founder of Web3 ladies. So and many other ladies too that are doing great stuff.
All right, all right. And is there any next big thing you want to work on? Are you excited about any idea that you want to implement in like near future or yeah?
Okay, so right now, I wouldn't say I'm like I know that thing right now, but what I'm really looking at these days is more of tooling and protocol development, protocol level development. So I'm still learning. I'm still a student at EPF, trying to learn more about the Ethereum protocol and see how I can contribute in that regard. And then when it comes to products, I'm not certain what that product is going to be, but I'm looking to build something that I can launch to the markets that people can start using. So that's the goal.
Okay, you're still on the tooling side. You want
Yeah.
to help developer journey. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, if you had one word to describe Web3 right now, what comes to your mind?
So Web3 is still emerging, is still evolving, is still coming up. So there are still a lot of things that we can that is possible in this space. So it's still like a baby, it's still growing.
Okay, that one word is baby.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Glory, just to close here, we do have a few community questions. Okay. The first one is, how do you see web apps, sites, as replacements for native apps on mobile phones for those who don't have laptops?
How do I see web apps as replacement for native apps? Well, it depends on how. I know recently there's a way you build web applications, and then you can even pin it on your desktop on your phone and things like that. So it depends on the way these solutions are being built. So that means if they are built in such a way that people don't need the native mobile applications for that, why not? That would be very cool. Because like I said, a lot of persons are first on mobile before we talk about laptops. So web solutions should actually be targeted towards mobile users. And so that will impact on how these web solutions are being built.
That's awesome. Okay, we do have another question, which is, this is a bit of a longer one. It's, what wallet connections features currently exist on CardDevKit? Are there any support for in-app wallets or wallets that support social logins? Finally, how easily replaceable are the different components that come with CardDevKit? For example, the RPC it's using, Wallet Connect, modals, things like that.
Okay, so let me take the question step by step because it looks like a lot in one question.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah, so first off, what Wallet Connect features currently exist in CardDevKit? So basically, we're making use of RainbowKit and Wagmi. So you can easily use that to connect your wallet or to sign transactions and do anything you are doing. So we have Wallet Connect. I think that answered the question. So let me go over to the next. I get any support for in-app wallets or wallets that support social login. So right now we don't have this social login connection at the moment. So hopefully we could consider it in future development. Then finally, how easily replaceable are the different components that come with? Yeah. So basically, you can easily replace them, like I mentioned during when I was trying to like demo. So you can remove whatever you don't need because when you scaffold the template, you see that example template like this one here, you see this one, and then you also see, oh, sorry, I'm no longer sharing my screen and I'm trying to show you. Yeah. So you see the landing page and then you see the wallet section. So if you don't need any of those things, maybe for development, you can still retain them just to test out what they are doing. But when you are done, you can easily remove them, you can delete them. And that's why on in the front end, even on the back end, we just put them in a folder and call it examples. So you can easily remove those ones and put your own. So the same thing happens to the header and footer. You can customize to your own design.
I see. This is great. So you do have some degree levels of customizability to do
Yeah,
what
sure.
you want. Last questions from YouTube. How do you plan to engage with the Cartesi developer community to further improve CartDevKit?
Okay, so Well, for those that are building, I think what I have to do is to like tell them about it. There's somebody was telling me to come and give bounty for CardDevKit. So, and I was like, I've not received grants to give bounty for those that want to build. So hopefully we get there, just like other products sponsor hackathon. When we get to that point, to be able to like sponsor people that want to build on Cartesi for them to go and use CardDevKit. So that's another thing that we can do later on. So, but for now, I'll just talk to them in the community as well to consider building their projects using CardDevKit instead of like starting everything afresh by themselves.
This is awesome, Glory. Wow. Well, we've been able to go through lots of topics in here today. We went about women in Web3, Web3 in Africa. We got a demo of your project, talked about how hackathons go, advices to devs, advices to protocol, learned about your favorite things in Web3 and the ones you think that can be improved. Thank you so much for your participation, and thank you so much for the community for joining in.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so sorry for the network issues.
Oh, it's not
No
a
worries.
problem. It happens all the time.
So thank you very much.
All right, guys. This was like Builder 4 a.m. So keep building and pioneering the world of Web3.
Yeah, sure. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.